Hey there, Travis here. This is part 2 of our series on how to take your prayer life to the next level. If you missed the first part, I dropped the link right there in the description below. But if you're joining us again because you already watched the first part, welcome back. Let's continue. Another method to take your time in the presence of God through prayer to the next level is praying through music. Go ahead, pick a worship song and allow the words to sing to you and begin to even pray the words of that song over your life. If there's a song singing about grace, ask God where you can extend grace to somebody in your life or share an area of your life that you are grateful or in need of God's grace. If the song is singing about being near to God, take time to pray for God's presence to be near or to see God's presence throughout the day. If the song is singing about justice, pray that God can use you as a vessel of justice in a world full of injustice. Using music is a great way to provide language for your prayers, maybe in those moments you're struggling to find that language for yourself. The next method is called Visio Divina. Visio Divina, otherwise known as sacred seeing, is an ancient form of Christian prayer in which we allow our hearts and we allow our imaginations to enter into a sacred image in silence to see what God might have to say to us through that image or that icon. Although Visio Divina is a relatively recent term, Christians have been contemplating God through art and nature for millennia. Early Christians painted Bible scenes in the catacombs. In the Middle Ages, stained glass cathedral windows and illuminated Bible manuscripts helped worshipers experience God in non-verbal ways. And venerating icons is an important way Orthodox Christians still pray even to this day. If you live in a city like San Francisco, where I live, then there are old cathedrals throughout the city where you can enter, and through the art and icons that fill the sanctuaries, you can actually practice Visio Divina. But even if you don't have a cathedral nearby, you can still practice this method of prayer. And here's how. First, pick out an image, maybe from a website, a photograph, a painting, or an icon, something that maybe reminds you of God or brings you into the presence of God. I want you to look at that image, and I want you to let your eyes stay with the very first thing that you see. Keep your attention on that one part of the image that first catches your eye. Try to keep your eyes from wandering to other parts of the picture or becoming distracted, and breathe deeply and let yourself gaze at that part of the image for a minute or so. Now, what I want you to do after you did that is let your eyes gaze at the whole image. Take your time and look at every part of the photograph. See it all, think about it all, reflect on the image for a minute or so. And then after doing both of these things, I want you to consider the following questions. What emotions does this image evoke in you? What does the image stir up in you? What does it bring up in you? What does it remind you of? Does this image lead you into an attitude of prayer? And if so, let these prayers begin to take shape in you. Maybe write them down if that makes it easier. And now, I want you to begin to offer those prayers to God in a final time of silence. Now, the last method I want to share with you is called the Examen. The Examen, it's a pretty old but popular one. The prayer of the daily Examen originated in 1522 when St. Ignatius of Loyola began writing the spiritual exercises. St. Ignatius believed this method would help us develop discipline and ask for God's grace and see how God works through us and among us daily. Now, while there are a few key tenets to the reflective daily prayer, the Examen is really easily adaptable to pray to God about your needs, your worries, what you're grateful for, that might change on a daily basis. So here are the 5 steps to notice where God is present throughout your day as you practice the Examen. The first step is this, to begin to prepare for prayer. Like the other methods, find a comfortable position or place to pray. Begin with a few deep breaths to calm your heart and mind. Acknowledge the intent of this prayer, to grow closer with God. And then when you're done with this, move to the second step, which is thanksgiving. Start by taking some time by thanking God for the gifts of the day and anything that you're grateful for. If you want to write these things down, you can do that as well. Number 3 is review. Ask the Holy Spirit to help you see your day clearly. Now begin to walk through your day as though you're playing a movie out in your mind. And what stands out as you think about your day? Are there any particular emotions or moments that are doing something within you? Any consolations when you felt close to God or noticed Him working? Are there any desolations, times when you felt far from God and from who you were called to be as you thought about your day? Number 4, Take some time to respond. Talk with God about what stood out from your day as you thought about it. What might God be, telling you through your experiences and feelings? Take some time to ask for forgiveness for the times you weren't at your best, and then offer up more gratitude for the blessings that stood out. Whatever comes to mind, simply talk with God about it. Remember, He just wants to do life with you. And then number 5 is end it by looking to tomorrow. What are you excited for? What are you nervous about as you think about tomorrow? Visualize yourself walking through the day with God, and then begin to ask for His help in the areas that you could use some guidance. There are so many different ways to pray and engage the presence of God. So go ahead, take a moment and pick out one of these methods, try it out for a week, and see which approach to prayer helps you engage the presence of God in a meaningful way. Hey, if you found this helpful, go ahead and leave us a comment, and then make sure to hit that subscribe button to receive future content being released right here on the Canvas channel that will help you grow in your journey of faith.